In this episode of Idol Gossip, I'm going bald and I can't cope with it. Who's your daddy? And the stage is set for celebrity feuds. And now, our regular lesson on how to appear in public. The Fashion Police. The stars were out in force in London, and it was for a very good cause. Sir Bob Geldof and some of his more youthful musical buddies decided to get together and hold a charity fundraiser.
Any idea how much you think you're going to make out of this?
No idea, but you know, it's gorgeous.
The theme, bad scarves. Who was going to show up wearing the worst possible excuse for a scarf? Sir Bob has a knock at the title himself, with an old curtain done up as a scarf. Lovely. After a flying visit to the costume department of West End musical Oliver, Will Young arrived sporting a plain-looking piece casually draped around his neck. Not sure of all the details, but showing up anyway in a nice stripy number was Joss Stone.
And who was it that did it? The Ghana guy? Tell me what's his name? The guy that swore the nation? Bob Geldof. My mom told me the story about it.
Justin Hawkins from The Darkness was confused about the entry requirements. Someone told him the theme was tragic 80s, leather and suede. Playing to win was Katie Malua, with a total ensemble of matching crocheted scarf, jacket and furry earmuffs. Look out, Will Young. Travis frontman Fran Healy is onto your Dutch cap and scarf combination. But Fran goes one better with stripes. S Club 7 singer Rachel Stevens employs lateral thinking and uses a green lace tablecloth for her bad scarf entry. There, of course, were those who preferred the element of surprise, choosing to reveal their scarves only at judging time, knowing they only have one chance to warm up, strut the catwalk, impress, and claim the title of worst scarf in the UK.
Hopefully we'll get it right tonight.
And speaking of catwalks, Shaznay Lewis from All Saints can't wait to be on the runway.
I'm looking forward to being on it.
Natasha Bedingfield couldn't find a grotty scarf, so she bought her grotty brother Daniel instead. And judging time began, the contestants were put through their paces. The first heat was tricky, singing while wearing a scarf.
You know, we've all tried to do our bit and make it something different and special.
Many simply couldn't take the pressure and removed their neck attire before the song was over. After completing the first round, rumours spread that Will Young was tipped as the hot favourite for the title.
So I'm not sure, it hasn't been confirmed yet, as they say. But yeah, and I'm looking forward to it. It'll be great fun. It does make you a bit nervous, but the overall thing is got nothing to do with you, it's to do with the end result.
But in a shocking twist, he and all the other male entrants are disqualified, and the singing heat is restaged with just the girls making up the field. The judges had made their choice, and winner Jamelia was elated. She knew her baby round the neck scarf was a contender for the title. Sir Bob is planning another bad scarf competition for next year, one that will be bigger and more star-studded than the first.
Robbie alongside some other great singer, you know, it works. It sort of stands over and above pop and over above stupidities like cool or uncool, you know.
Singer Daniel Bedingfield summed up his day.
Very deeply moved. It was an amazing, very, very spiritual experience.
In all seriousness, the charity event was actually Band-Aid 20, a recording of the song Do They Know It's Christmas in aid of charity and organised by Sir Bob Geldof. The song sold 750,000 copies on its release and is tipped to be the Christmas #1 in the UK. What hasn't been said about Michael Jackson?
This scary.
He is the king of pop, or so he proclaims. He is a peacemaker and humanitarian with a fan base that crosses all age groups. There's also many others who think he's a head case. There's no kind way to say it. Michael is plain bizarre. But considering he's been in the spotlight all his life and has no idea of how normal people live, maybe it's not so unusual. Controversy is nothing new for Jackson. A short and sweet marriage to Lisa Marie Presley, something even she shakes her head about and refuses to comment on. Desperately wanting children, he fathered 2 by a surrogate mother, naming the first boy Prince Michael and a girl Paris Michael Catherine. The world was up in arms after the baby dangling incident, yet Michael seemed completely oblivious to the harm he had put his only son in. Makes one want to scream, "No, Michael, you're not at Neverland now. You, and especially the kids, can't fly." Thriller made music history and became the best-selling album of all time. The film clip gave us even more of an insight into Michael's world. We thought it was bizarre he called it home. He was catapulted to superstardom. And then the weirdness factor started to be made public. His preference to sleep in a hyperbaric chamber to prevent aging, his determination to purchase the bones of John Merrick, the Elephant Man, Neverland Ranch the size of a small town, the pet monkey Bubbles, and his fondness for spending a lot of time playing with children. It went from being an idiosyncrasy to bordering on psychotic to illegal. Michael has lost his grip on reality.
These statements about me are totally false.
At the MTV Video Awards, Britney Spears referred to him as the artist of the millennium. Whether it was the noise, the confusion, or too much time in the hyperbaric chamber, there was a huge cringe of embarrassment in the entire room, as Michael thought he was receiving an actual award. He even recited an acceptance speech. Some laughed, some cried, some just chalked it up to Michael and rolled their eyes. After Britney stopped blushing, no doubt embarrassed for him, she presented him with a birthday cake, which Michael accepted, no doubt still wondering where his non-existent award was. He has had so much plastic surgery, he bears only a passing resemblance to the young African-American boy who once joined his family on stage. Appearing at various functions with a surgical mask across his face, we are left to ask if he has any nose left. His latest look is rumoured to have been a reconstructive rhinoplasty to resurrect his nose tip, which seemed to have collapsed or atrophied, apparently using ear cartilage to rebuild the tip. How macabre. He has gone from olive-complexioned to very fair.
Evidence of a skin color disorder called vitiligo.
His claim is a rare fading disease, but his features are far from what they once were and leave us to wonder just where Michael intends to go from here. Yet as media speculation flames, innuendo and intrigue abound, his fans rush to his defence, thus proving he is not alone. It goes from bad to worse for Michael. He's fallen out with recording giant Sony.
I own half of Sony's publishing and I'm leaving them, and they're very angry at me because
he feels they are to blame for not supporting his last few releases and that they are the reason for the drop in sales. Michael fails to grasp that he is far from the boy wonder who thrilled us. Now we shudder at the thought of his next escapade. How would you feel? Your mum is an ex-Playboy model, so you're used to having famous people around. The lead singer of one of your favourite bands is always around. Then one day your mum breaks the news to you. The lead singer is your dad. How would you feel? Ask Liv Tyler. That's exactly what happened to her when she found out her real father was Steven Tyler of Aerosmith. Who's your daddy? When a celebrity marriage hits the rocks, all the nastiness and juicy gossip hits the headlines, and we can't get enough. Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise kept most of their dirty laundry hidden and were mature enough not to bring all the messy details out to the public. Many thought Nicole would come off second best, as Tom already had someone to keep his bed warm, Penelope Cruz. Nicole rose above and beyond the trashy tales and held her head high.
That's it, I don't do a lot of playing around.
At the Oscar Awards ceremony in 2002, when Nicole won Best Actress, Tom arrived in secret, avoiding the red carpet, allowing Nicole her private, public moment as a nominee. He opened the show and left soon afterwards by a secret back door, his mission complete. The name Diane Alexander Ritchie means nothing till you add her famous husband Lionel Richie. After years of married bliss, the bubble has burst, and the settlement the estranged spouse is asking for has left Lionel's lawyers shaking their heads. Diane has an astronomical list of monetary demands. Of course, there is educating their 2 children in excess of $150,000 a year. And Mummy has to go and visit her son in Colorado while he's away at school. Chalk up another $20,000 a month. We're guessing she doesn't stay at the Holiday Inn. Add to that her hair, Pilates, massages, therapy, facials, nails, and electrolysis. No one spends that much looking pretty, with perhaps the exception of Michael Jackson. In spite of the divorce proceedings, the estranged couple still share a $40 million, 30-room mansion with 9 live-in staff to maintain the plants, detail the cars, care for the pool, groom the dog, and maintain the aquarium. They don't call them the Richies for nothing. We're wondering if Lionel has ever heard of the saying, cheaper to keep her. Also hitting the divorce courts is Robert Downey Jr. and Deborah Falconer, filing for divorce after 12 years of marriage. Downey Jr. has been hitting the headlines a lot in the last few years, and for all the wrong reasons. He has undergone rehabilitation following convictions for cocaine possession and driving under the influence of drugs. He and Falconer separated 2 years ago, and the divorce leaves him free to marry his new fiancée, Susan Levin, whom he met in 2003 during filming on Gothica.
Look, I'm upset. You're upset. I'm here to help you.
While filming Gothica, Downey Jr. reportedly got carried away in his role and accidentally broke Halle Berry's arm. We're suggesting to Falconer that arm wrestling is not a pastime she should pursue with her new husband-to-be.
We're getting there. I guess that means no.
Another couple battling it out is Liza Minnelli and ex-husband David Guest. The couple were a publicity machine from the start, with their wacko wedding starring Michael Jackson as Guest's best man and Elizabeth Taylor creakily performing the duties of maid of honour. After 16 months of wedded bliss, Guest filed for divorce, citing Liza had abused him physically, and now he needs up to 80 pain-killing injections of a nerve-paralysing drug. The drug used to kill this horrendous pain he suffers from? Botox. He's also suing her for $10 million damages. Perhaps pain-killing liposuction is next.
Oh, darling, I can't tell you that. You have to ask him.
But the divorce that shocked everyone and brought tears to many is yet to come. Yes, we knew it wasn't a marriage made in heaven and that they were both plastic after all. No, I'm not talking about Nick and Jessica, but Barbie and Ken. After years of happy driving in the camper van and days spent by the pool soaking up the sun and wearing lots of new outfits, the marriage is over. Citing irreconcilable differences, the couple left in different sports cars after a hearing in a nearby courthouse. At a press conference, Barbie was comforted by Pippa and her other disco friends. She spoke of the nights she slept alone in the Barbie mansion while Ken was out with friends. Ken apparently had been spending a lot of time in the company of Barbie's ex-boyfriend G.I. Joe. There are rumours of all-night, all-male parties at G.I. Joe's condo, where the liquor flowed free and fast. Ken rushed to his own defence, saying he was just letting off steam, and that there was no truth to the rumours that there was something going on between him and G.I. Joe. He reportedly paid off photographers when questionable photos were leaked to the press, showing him and G.I. Joe in a jacuzzi amid bubbles and champagne. G.I. Joe was unavailable for comment. Drew Barrymore recently revealed that she accidentally set her bottom on fire during the filming of Charlie's Angels.
I'm gonna teach you and your friends about pen.
Bravely, she kept acting, but couldn't sit down for a week. There reaches a stage in many actors' lives when there is more hair in the brush than there is on their heads. What to do? Do they reach for the phone and call the best hair replacement clinic? Or reach for the razor and be done with the job? Early in his career, it looks as though Ben Affleck may have gone for some plantation on his thinning hairline. But his hair looks natural and very healthy now, and Ben isn't saying a word. There's a few options for the not-so-happily balding. They can go for implants, comically referred to as plugs. They give the look that someone has been gardening on your scalp, as little tufts of their own hair are harvested from the back and planted in the empty spots. You can go for a hairpiece or toupee, which blends in, sort of, with the hair you do have left, unaffectionately called a rug or carpet. Sean Connery wore a toupee for most of his roles as Bond. Off camera, he is happy to go rug-free and flouts his irresistible I-don't-care attitude to the whole world. Ted Danson also has fake follicles. Hair that perfect cannot be real. In his role in Cheers, Sam was very image-conscious. So had Ted continued to go bald, chances are he may not have been serving drinks for as long as he did. Then there is the comb-over. This results in hair being swept over from the still growing side to try and cover the balding side. Always unsuccessful, and a look that just screams, I'm going bald and I can't cope with it.
None of us can figure out what's going on.
Why do thoughts of Donald Trump rush to mind? There are actors who feel that their sex appeal, popularity and career prospects may wash down the drain along with their hair. They clutch desperately at their hair tonic and their thinning strands. Many actors look even better bald than they did with their receding hairline. Dwayne Johnston, actor and wrestler, better known as The Rock, went from long locks in The Scorpion King to bald and beautiful in Walking Tall and WrestleMania. He lost none of his sex appeal. Women still screamed and fainted in his presence. Luckily for The Rock, his baldness is a choice. He can simply grow it back again if he or the movie studio decides he needs to. Samuel L. Jackson and Billy Zane, another two very popular actors who can grow it today and shave it tomorrow. Either look suits these talented actors. Another actor who still has the choice is Bruce Willis. He shaved his head for the movie 12 Monkeys, and Style Watchers approved. So Bruce has the option of growing his hair or shaving it off, depending on the role. Demi Moore was one who was brave to shave, but we still think the chrome dome look suits her ex-husband far better than it suited her. Then there are women who look far more attractive bald. Recognise this fiery young Irish singer? With the top cropped, she looks a lot better. Sinead O'Connor. Sigourney Weaver lopped her lovely locks for her role as Exterminator in Alien 3, catching everyone's attention and going home with a record paycheck. Multi-talented Grace Jones catches the eye of photographers wherever she goes. We hardly have any footage of her bald head because she always dons some sort of odd headgear. The bald look is slowly catching on with women. Who's going to be next? Britney? Christina? Madonna? In Hollywood, the bigger the ego, the better the feud. There's nowhere else the egos are bigger, from rival co-stars and dueling divas to vindictive siblings and cruel columnists. Tinseltown's most calamitous conflicts occur not on screen, but off camera. On the red carpet, in elevators, restaurants, you name it, the stage is set for celebrity feuds. Star spats normally start with the simplest of situations. Star has ego, star has big mouth, star says something scathing about another star, and then watch the fireworks. Christina Aguilera and Kelly Osbourne, normally both fresh, clean-cut, butter wouldn't melt in their mouth types, yeah right, can't seem to play nice at all. They've had an ongoing loathe thing ever since Kelly mocked Christina in an episode of TV reality show The Osbournes. At last year's MTV Europe Awards, Christina threw darts at a picture of Kelly's face. This of course ain't no big thing to Kelly, who apparently now has a voodoo doll of Christina, her now nemesis. Girls, honestly, behave! Much as we love her, Christina does seem to have a knack for rubbing people up the wrong way. Think of poor innocent Kirsten Dunst, who got very irate at an awards ceremony when Christina, sitting in the row behind her, made call after call on her cell phone. Dunst now refuses to be seated near Christina at any awards shows. Shocker! Thankfully, the affair didn't end with Kirsten or Christina trading a smack on the lips, one much different to the smack Madonna gave her at the MTV Awards. Sharon Osbourne isn't one to mince words, and given the chance, she's happy to share her opinion on anything. She, however, seems to have met her nemesis in fellow adjudicator Simon Cowell, and the bitchiness has the ratings skyrocketing. Some of the juicier tidbits had Cowell openly stating Sharon's daughter Kelly was ugly, and he made a mockery of her rather addled husband Ozzy when he was injured in a quad bike accident. He even went so far as to rub salt in Sharon's wounds after jewellery worth hundreds of thousands of pounds was stolen from her home, jibing that she had milked the situation for publicity. These statements had Sharon furious, and the press loved it. The series is over and done with, but the surrounding brouhaha relating to the possible cinema version of the hit TV show Sex and the City continued for months. Rumours were rife that a movie version was on its way. Then it was all off, with sources stating Kim Cattrall, who played sexy seductress Samantha, would not sign on for the project. She had reportedly been battling behind the scenes with producer and star Sarah Jessica Parker for some time during the series' 6-year run. The reasons for the project stalling were many. Kim asking for a paycheck equal to Sarah Jessica Parker, Kim wanting script approval, Kim not wanting director Michael Patrick King in the director's chair as he favoured Parker. The other actresses cried, "Kill off Samantha," so the project could go ahead. It became clear the film was a no-go, and as the dust began to settle, Kim Cattrall and Sarah Jessica Parker made separate press releases stating the media was all to blame for the catty controversy. All involved admitted the movie would be fun, but would never happen. In the end, the feuding stars still shine, because let's face it, there is no such thing as bad publicity, and free publicity in Hollywood is often the best kind.